All right. So I wanted to come and talk to you ladies because I've been seeing some very disturbing things online. Now, first of all, let me say I don't like to speak on anyone's relationship. I give my commentary on popular topics, on trending topics. Hello, everybody coming in. I give my opinion on trending topics and popular topics because they affect us in society, okay? But I don't have a personal judgment or opinion about what anyone does in their marriage. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, so the topic is, why are women attacking Derrick Jaxn's wife? Now, this is not to say that his wife is innocent in all of this. This is not to say that she should have came online in that little knit cap and looking like she rolled out of bed to do a video with her husband. And he shouldn't have let her do that. Men who love their wives want their wives to represent well in society. And this is not to say that she should have been wearing makeup or anything of that nature. Derrick Jaxn's wife is beautiful. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But from my opinion, she is a beautiful woman. She didn't need to put on makeup, but she should have done her hair and she should have looked like she cared about herself. That is a part of being a woman. God wants us to be women. And that doesn't mean, like I said, wearing makeup or wearing any trendy clothing. She just could have put on a decent outfit, and she could have done her hair and then came online and did the live with her husband. First, I want to say that his wife is odd to me, but this is not a judgment to her. She is very odd, and sometimes people like to use God, the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ as their shield. Now, you all know that I am a Christian. I am a proud Christian. I'm a Christian conservative as well. I'm conservative and I'm Christian. I don't judge how she came online. If that's how she wants to come and present herself, that's her business. That is no one else's business. But a loving husband would tell his wife, hey babe, pull your hair out, put a decent outfit on before you come online, okay? But I do have a problem with some of the attacks that I see going on online about his wife, the hatred, women telling her she should divorce her husband, women telling her what she should do with her family and her 2 children. And I just want to address that, okay? I want to address, why are women attacking Derrick Jaxn's wife? First, let me say, I'm not saying she is innocent in this situation. Derrick Jaxn was 21 years old, I believe, when he started making videos about relationships on the internet. He had no business talking about relationships. He is not experienced enough, or at that time, he didn't have enough life experience. When you're 18, 20, 21, you probably, the worldly people, are not exhibiting sexual discipline. And he has not been exhibiting sexual discipline since he has been with this woman. And she should have told him, you don't need to be giving advice online about relationships because you can't maintain this relationship, okay? But that is neither here or there. That is not a judgment to her. That is just facts, okay? But that still doesn't give women the right to be online saying the things that they are saying about this woman who is obviously going through a very hard time. I can't imagine. If I found out my husband cheated on me, I can't imagine. I really can't. I can't imagine how that must feel and how embarrassing it is to have so many people talking about her and abusing her and adding fire to a very already terrible, terrible situation. So the first reason that I want to, the first theory that I have about why women are attacking Derrick Jaxn's wife is jealousy. Yes, jealousy. Not at the fact that she has a serial cheating husband, but at the fact that she has the man that all of these femininity channels and level up channels are talking about, okay? So it's no secret that women are out here looking for providers, okay? Even though we live in a non-traditional society, we live in a very feminist society where women want to be bosses and they want to make their own money. And most traditional men are going bye-bye. That's just the truth. It's going to be very hard to find a traditional man in today's society. And anyone who tells you different is a liar, or they're not in touch with the culture of what we live in. So they are jealous. They are jealous that she has a provider, okay? This is a woman with 2 children. She stood by his side while he built his empire. He's worth $1 million. I've been hearing people are saying $1 million is not a lot of money in the United States of America, but it is 10% in the top 10% of men. So if someone's man is making $1 million, okay, he is in the 10% of top earners, okay? He also has notoriety. He has fame. And so I think a lot of women who are saying, leave him, girl, leave him because he cheated on you, would marry Derrick Jaxn in a heartbeat if he was single. Let's just keep it real, okay? They would marry him in a second if he was available to you. Even the women that are online saying, oh my gosh, he cheated. Y'all been with cheaters. Y'all have been with cheaters who haven't provided for you. Y'all have been with men who didn't marry you when you were pregnant, like Derrick Jaxn did his wife, okay? So let's just be real. Let's be real. A lot of it is jealousy. They would date Derrick Jaxn in a heartbeat. The average worldly woman would they would go pick him up right now. If Derrick Jaxn said he was single, you would run to his page, be all in his DMs. If you saw him out in public, you'd be ready for it because most people are worldly, okay? So I think some of it is jealousy. I think they are jealous that she has a man that provides for her. I think they're jealous of that. I think they're jealous that she's with a social media high status man, okay? Second reason that I think people are attacking his wife is bitterness. I'm going to be specific right now and talk about the African American community, the Black community. The Black community is used to trauma. They are used to cheating. They are used to infidelity. They are used to being treated like trash. A lot of Black women in particular are used to being treated like trash, okay? They believe all men cheat. No man can control himself. They all have to cheat, men are like that. They need multiple women. There's this message that kind of flows in particular in the African American community that Black women cannot have a man that is faithful, loyal, and a provider to them. There's this idea floating around that there is no Black man like that. And because of that, I think there's a lot of bitterness and there's a lot of trauma that these other women are passing on to her. Because keep in mind, she's living it. She is living with a serial cheater who found Jesus. I'm not saying he didn't find Jesus. I really hope Derrick has found Jesus Christ. And I really hope Derrick from this point on will change his life and change his lifestyle. Because keep in mind, this is a very young man. Derrick is only 31 years old. That's a young man, okay? He's only 31 years old. So he's been given advice since he was 21. Advice that he shouldn't have been given. And advice that people shouldn't have been looking at or listening to. We've been saying this for years. Those of us who are in this space of relationship and marriage, we have been saying for years, why are you listening to Derrick Jaxn? We've been saying this for years. Not to say that he doesn't give good advice sometime, but what he gives is common sense, okay? It's common sense that a man should treat you good, okay? It's common sense that you should feel good about yourself as a woman. These are common sense things that Derrick has been talking about. This is not something that is shocking or, information that you couldn't Google on the internet, okay? So it's bitterness. A lot of women are bitter. They are bitter because they have had men cheat on them, abuse them, won't marry them, impregnate them. And the truth is, they probably don't have a man that's worth $1 million like Derrick Jaxn. So they want her to leave Derrick Jaxn because then she's in the crowd of single bitter women. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's just the truth. They want her to be a single mom, and they want her to be bitter and lonely like them. The third reason that I think a lot of women are attacking Derrick Jaxn's wife is because of poor self-concept and self-esteem. You know, this is something that I had to work on in my own life. I never had extremely low self-esteem. You know, my mother and my father instilled in me great self-esteem, even as a plus size woman. I'm a plus size woman, and anybody who's a plus size woman knows that it's harder for us on the dating scene. It is extremely harder for us. But I had a couple of things to my benefit. I have a cute shape, I have a cute face, and a little waist. And that played to my benefit. But I still struggled with dating as a plus size woman because I would lead to say most men, a plus size woman is not their first choice. Now, there are some men who like you curvy and they like you thick and they like that little waist. And so I always attracted those type of men that wanted curvy women, that wanted a woman who didn't look sloppy, not morbidly obese, but overweight. And you guys know I've been working on my weight because that's a different video, but being overweight is just not cool. It's not. And God had to work on my heart, and he had to mature me in this area. But my husband loves my body and he made me curvy, but it's hard for a plus size woman, but that's a different conversation. So when you have low self-esteem and you have a poor concept of yourself, you attack other women's looks, okay? I don't care what a woman looks like. I like men, okay? I like my man. I like his muscles and his body. And we can talk about weight and health and all of those things, and I talk about those things on my channel, but I don't personally attack another woman's looks. I don't say, oh, she's so ugly, look at her, because I feel good about myself as a woman. Even though I'm on my own health journey and I want to lose more weight and I want to, take care of my temple. I want to take care of the body that God gave me, all right? And I want to be even more sexually attracted to my husband, and I want him to be sexually attracted to me. So my weight, my look, how I carry myself is very, very important. Should she have came online in that little knit cap that looked like a bonnet and a little sloppy top, and it looked like she just rolled out of bed and said, let's do a video. Should she have done that? No, because that's not showing that you care about the body that God gave you, all right? She doesn't have to wear makeup. Her skin is flawless. Her face is flawless. So all the women talking about she ugly, she looks better than a lot of average looking basic women that have to pile a ton of makeup on to look attractive. So I don't want to hear nothing about she's unattractive. She's not unattractive, but she looks like she's in a state where I just don't care about how I look. And I definitely don't care about how I come online. She didn't need to put on any makeup. She didn't need to do that. All she needed to do was put on a decent outfit. And that would have sufficed, okay? And I question why Derrick let her come online like that. I will say that again. I question why Derrick let her come online like that. I really do, because she's a beautiful woman, okay? So when we don't have great self-esteem about ourselves, we will be super critical and hypercritical to other women. And we'll talk about other women's weight. We'll talk about how ugly they are. We'll talk about, ooh, girl, look at her. She's not good looking. Now, I know some people are questioning why Derrick cheated on women that looked opposite from her. Now, that's not what this live is about. If y'all want me to talk about that, I will talk about that. The multiple women that Derrick cheated on her with look like Instagram baddies, Instagram thoughts is what I'll call them. They look like Instagram thoughts. And so I would wonder why Derrick is attracted to the Instagram thought, but he's married to someone who looks like she don't really care about how she looks. She looks very average, very basic. It looks like she doesn't really care about how she presents herself to society. But that's a different question. That's a different question. If y'all want me to talk about that, I'll talk about that, okay? All right, so now I want to talk about what I would do if I was his wife. If I was his wife, how I would handle this situation. But before I get into that, I want to talk about how we really need to keep our mouth off his wife. We need to keep our mouth off if she should stay with him, if she should leave him. We need to leave this woman alone. She has gone through enough trauma, through enough embarrassment, through enough chastising, through enough humiliation. And if you say you are a Christian woman, because the women that follow me, maybe you're not a Christian, but you feel God pulling on your heart. Maybe you want to stop all the premarital sex you're having. You want to stop being used by men, and you want to be valued. The women that follow me, you are a woman of character and you are a woman of substance. So we don't need to be abusing this woman online, okay? We don't need to be talking about her looks and how she's so stupid and all of these things. We need to talk about the issue. If we're going to talk about it, let's stick to the issue. Let's not drag her for filth, all right? If you want to drag somebody for filth, I would say drag Derrick, but even that's not Christian-like. When we speak about Derrick, we need to stick to the facts. We don't need to call him names, and we don't need to try to humiliate him. We just need to put it out there that this is a man that does not need to be giving relationship advice. He does not need to be giving relationship advice, and that's just the facts. All right, so now I want to talk about what Derrick's wife should have done. If she was going to stay with this serial cheater, and if she is going to move forward in her marriage, in her relationship, I want to talk about what she should have done, in my opinion. But I would never tell her this. I would never go on her page. I would never say this to her because, quite frankly, it's none of my business what she decides to do in her marriage. But this is what I would have done. First, I would have stayed offline, okay? I wouldn't have come online because this is too fresh. Derrick and his wife are acting like this happened 5 years ago. We're talking about June, July, when Derrick was cheating on his wife. That is not that far back, okay? They have not gone through this long enough to be able to help anybody or speak anybody through infidelity. If that's what you choose to do, to stay in your marriage through infidelity, they don't have enough experience to be giving you information about if you should stay together and what God did and all this God stuff. No, ma'am. She needs to stay offline and heal, okay? Get off the scene. Just go offline because you're just embarrassing yourself the more you come online. The second thing I would do if I was Derrick Jaxn's wife is I would get a lawyer. Not necessarily a lawyer to get a divorce, but I want to know what my options are, okay? What are my options as a woman if this man continues to serial cheat? One reason we get married is for security. And I'm going to do a video about this, but we get married for security, not just love. We get married for security of our bodies, so that we know that we are not put at risk for sexually transmitted diseases or AIDS. We get married for security of our emotions and of our flaws and all our problems. We know that someone's going to stick by us through the good, through the bad, through the ugly. We get married for financial security. And so she needs to get a lawyer or on retainer so that she knows that I can take care of my children and I can take care of myself if this man is going to continue to put me at risk. The second thing I would do, well, this is the third thing. First thing, she needs to stay offline. This is not the time to be online. She needs to get a lawyer to talk through what her options are. The third thing she needs to do is she needs to stop having sex with Derrick, okay? I would not have sex with my serial cheating husband. Okay? You would not bring me home AIDS or a sexually transmitted disease or anything from these nasty thoughts that you are messing around with. She needs to stop having intercourse with her husband. If she's going to stay with him, they need to go through a process, almost like they're dating again. They need to get spiritual counseling, and they need to get counseling from a licensed therapist. So the first thing they need is spiritual counseling. They say they're Christians, so it's time to act like it. Get a spiritual counselor, spiritual counselor, so that you guys can go through the process. The second thing I would do is get a licensed therapist. I would get a licensed therapist to help us work through some of these issues if you're going to stay. The third thing I would do is I would get a couple, an older couple, someone middle-aged or up, to guide us through this process of rebonding and connecting. So they need some mentors, they need a spiritual counselor, and they need a licensed therapist. All right? The last thing I would do, since Derrick and his wife profess to be Christians, is they need prayer, and they need mentoring, okay? It's not enough to get online and say, I'm a Christian now, I'm going to stop cheating because the Lord touched me and I'm a Christian. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that, okay? You're going to have to prove to yourself and to God that you truly are a Christian, all right? And that means you're going to have to cut off all this communication with other women. You're going to have to focus on your relationship. And you're going to have to actually truly dedicate your life to Christ. Now, if Derrick is actually the Christian that he says he is, he needs to get off YouTube. That's what Derrick needs to do. He needs to get off YouTube for a while and get to know himself as a man and rebuild with his wife. Just get off YouTube. You don't have nothing to offer us in the area of advice. You are too young. You've been cheating for 12 years. You don't have no advice to offer anyone. And this is biblical. This is biblical. The Bible tells you don't become a teacher, because when you become a teacher, you're going to be held to a higher standard. You're going to be held to a higher standard. And so if I get out here wilding out, or my husband gets out here wilding out, I have to come to you all and I have to say, I'm a step away from Wifey for Lifey because I got to get my home in order. Okay? You guys know I'm an older woman though, so a lot of the things I've talked about are things I've been through. My parents have been married for 49 years. My sister has been married for 25 years. I also have a lot of women on this platform who have been married for 30 years, 40 years, who I take advice from. And together we talk about the trials of marriage, okay? So that's all I have. That's my advice. That would be my advice to his wife. Get offline, girl. You don't need to be online. Get offline. You don't need to be online proving yourself, trying to justify why you are staying with your serial cheating husband. Because if you want to stay with your husband, that is your business, okay? Whether I agree or whether you agree or whether anyone else agrees, that is her business. And I want to leave with this thought. You guys know that infidelity is a deal breaker in my marriage. That came from my husband. I remember one day I was having a conversation with my husband and I said, babe, if I cheated on you, would you stay with me? Would you stay with me? Would you try to work it out? Y'all, I want to let y'all know, he looked me dead in my face and he said, absolutely not. Because that was a choice that you decided to make. You decided to start talking to this man. You had to go through many steps to decide you wanted to cheat. You decided you wanted to talk to this man behind my back. You decided that you were going to meet up with him. That took preparation. You decided that you were going to take off your clothes. And you guys, I'm going to say this, and y'all know I try to keep it classy, but my husband looked at me and said, you decided to spread your legs. You guys, when he said that to me, I said to myself, I got a real one. I got a real one. I got a real man. So me and my husband have been on the same page since we got together 18 years ago, that we've been married for 15 years, 16 years coming up, that cheating was not going to be a part of our relationship because it was a choice. But what I want to say about Derrick's wife is she may decide to stay. And my question to you that I would love for you ladies to answer, if you want her to leave so bad, where do you want her to go exactly? Do you want her to go to a man that makes less than $1 million, which is what Derrick is making? Do you want her to become a single mother and raise her 2 children by herself? Do you want her to now go out here and date, and the likelihood of her meeting another millionaire man that wants to take on 2 children that are not his, with what she's got going on and the look that she's presenting, is slim to none. And his wife knows that, and you know it too. The likelihood of her meeting an established man that is a millionaire that wants to take on 2 children that is not his, that has Derrick's status, is slim to none. So what his wife decided to do is, I'm going to stay with my husband that provides for me, that bought me this big house, even though he disrespected me and he had women in my bed. I'm going to join him in this Christian walk, and we're going to keep making money together. And my children are going to have a father when they wake up in the morning. Okay? God can bless you with greater, but let's not be dumb, you guys. I'm really tired of these women who tell you they're, first of all, men that even make $100,000 are in the 10%. That's 10% of men. That goes across, and I think it's maybe 12% of all men, of all colors, of all races, make $100,000 or more. So God can't give you what's out here. So let's stop it with the foolishness and the stupidity. God can't give you what's not even out here available to you. I know all these hypergamy gurus and femininity gurus are telling you, oh girl, you better find you a high earning man. But here's the thing, it's only 12% of them. It's only 12% of them. So where are you going to find him from exactly? Let me know in the comments. Where are you going to find him from if it's only 12% across the board of all races of men? And let's be real. No man of high quality wants to take on 2 children that are not his. I don't care if that hurts your feelings. That's the truth. My husband has always told me, point blank, I'm not dating a woman with children that are not mine. I want children that are mine. And most high quality men want to start their own families. That's not to say it doesn't exist. That's not to say that God can't bless you with a man who's making $60,000, $50,000, $70,000 that wants to take you and your children on and create a family. That's not to say that God can do anything. If you look good, you present well, you're a woman of high quality, you might meet a man that wants to take you and your multiple children in, but the chances are slim to none. So this woman wants her children to be with their father. See, women who are not wives don't understand the complexity of this situation. For me to divorce my husband, and I would if he was unfaithful to me, but that's me. That's me because I have multiple streams of income. I know how to make money. I don't have to depend on my husband for money, even though he is my 100% provider. My husband is my 100% provider. Okay? I don't feel pressured to stay with a man who wants to insert his parts in other women. But I don't judge the women who say, he said he's going to change. I'm going to stay in this relationship and I'm going to work it out. And you don't have a right to tell her to leave her husband. Are you going to pay her bills? Are you going to be there in the morning when she is with her 2 children as a single mom, help getting them out to school, help doing homework, help feeding them, help doing everything that you have to do as a mother with no man around? Are you going to help her do that? If you're not, I think we should keep our mouth off of Derrick Jaxn's wife. I think that's what we should do. We should keep our mouth off of her. If we're not going to help her, we should just keep our mouth off of what she's going to do with his wife. I pray that Derrick has changed. Derrick needs to get off the internet, stop giving relationship advice. His wife needs to get off the internet, stop embarrassing yourself on the internet, and heal your marriage. If that's what y'all are going to do, go heal your marriage off the internet, okay? So that's my 2 cents. You can leave me your thoughts in the comments. I know you guys said a lot of things, a lot of good points, but let's be real. Is this woman about to find another Derrick Jaxn with 2 kids on her hip? With how she presents herself, is she about to find another Derrick Jaxn? Are you really asking yourself why she's not leaving Derrick Jaxn? Let me tell you why she's not leaving Derrick Jaxn. Outside of this whole, oh, he's a Christian now, he's changed, which we will see. We'll see what his behavior is after this. She's not leaving Derrick Jaxn because she wants a father for her children, a biological father for her children. She's not leaving Derrick Jaxn because he's a millionaire. She's not leaving Derrick Jaxn because she's going to go into this ministry with him, and they're going to continue to sell you books and webinars, and I guess they're going to do it with a Jesus spin now. That is why possibly she is not going to leave Derrick Jaxn. And you guys can say it's a business arrangement, but marriage has always been something that we looked at as more than love. Okay, it's always been that way. Women have been getting married since the beginning of time for security and for protection. And so I don't judge a woman. If a woman says, I don't mind being with a serial cheater, I'm going to stay in this marriage because he provides for me. He does this for me. I want my kids to have a father. I'm going to rebuild with him. That's her business. And we don't need to be online telling her what she should do. You know what you would do. But I'm also going to keep it real with you. Derrick Jaxn is in the 12% of men in America. She is not going to find another 12% man, most likely. The chances are slim to none. She knows this. You know this. And you can live in delusion if you want to. But that's the reality of this situation. I'm not saying that they're not Christians. I'm not saying that they're not saved. That is not my place. Time will show if Derrick Jaxn is a changed man. Time will show that. No judgment from me. So that's all I have to say. Leave Derrick Jaxn's wife alone. Basically, leave her alone. Let her be. Mind your business. Let her go live her life. Let her live her life. If she wants to come online and that little knit cap and he don't mind her presenting herself like that to the world, and they want to hide behind Jesus, we need to see actions. You can't use Jesus as your genie, okay? Jesus Christ is not a genie. If you are a Christ follower, be a Christ follower. Let it show in your behavior. Let it shine in your marriage. Let it shine in your relationships, in every aspect of your life. Okay? So God bless Derrick. I hope he makes it through this. He needs to take a break. He needs to take a break. I hope if she wants to stay married to Derrick, God bless them. I hope they make it. I hope they thrive. I hope they are able to get through this and keep their family together, because it's them, not me. All right, so that's all I have to say. You guys take care. I will see you later. Bye.